TWM podcast.
Saturday, everybody. This is your voice of the main roster, Joseph Kingsley-Nyinah. I have no idea why I introduced myself first, because you need to know what this is. This is Smack Talk, part of the TWM network of podcasts. Something coming in your ears Monday to Saturday, sometimes on Sunday, because we don't believe in a day of rest. We can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, you can catch our podcast on everywhere good. Notable places include Spotify, Podbean, Acast, YouTube, yeah, and wherever you get your podcasts and stuff. That's what we do. Constant content, constantly coming in your ears. We've also got a deal with Squared Circle Box. If you don't put anything on Squared Circle Box. Not sure they'll be receptive to that, but if you put into their discount thing, TWM News, you get 10% off your first order. It's not a bad deal, in my opinion. But yes, here we are on Smack Talk. I am joined by somebody who, honestly, he just brings me joy. Every time I see him, he brings me joy. I'm very rarely this nice about somebody when I'm introducing them. To be honest, I just decided that I'd be real today because I didn't think up a funnier side. It is Rhys. How are you?
Sure, you absolute sweetheart. And nothing brings me as much joy as talking about wrestling. So,
right. Yeah, okay, enough with the sappy stuff. We're actually going to dive into what was, I think, a reasonable episode of SmackDown. It might be the best since I started.
You really enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
Yeah. I think it's the best. I think it's the best one that I've had the pleasure of reviewing. But anyway, let's jump straight into it. SmackDown, top story. It's all about affirmative action as we confirm a Universal title match for Survivor Series. And to be honest, I'm really excited. Are you excited, Rhys?
Yeah, like these two have been absolutely killing it this year. You think they've got a whole story going back years as well. It's not something you think of straight away, but actually when you look into it, the history's there.
I'm so excited. It's literally one of the feuds that got me watching wrestling weekly. So, yes. Two quotes.
This feud right here or the one from a few years back?
Pardon? Oh, the one from a few years back, I think. Yeah. Just brilliant. But
with Daniel Wyatt.
Yes, Daniel Wyatt. Oh, and the cage and everything. Yes. Two quotes. Two men from SmackDown yesterday. Right, but let's get into it. Let's trace the two characters' paths over the course of the night. Bray Wyatt turns himself into an artist. Maybe he should be invited to join a certain stable. And then turns the Universal title blue because we crippin' out here, cuz. Thoughts on the new title?
So what's my thoughts? Yeah, I think it looks good. It's an improvement on... I don't think for some reason the red title never really looked quite right. I'm not saying like the blue one looks perfect, but I think it's an improvement. I think my preference would be, though, to bring back Big Gold.
Ooh, yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. However, we do have a version of Big Gold in our wrestling viewing. The problem is it's just got AEW right in the middle. Check out the Wednesday Night War podcast out on Thursdays, which isn't confusing at all. Right. Bray Wyatt also says he's looking forward to Miss TV, and I can't remember the last time anyone said that.
Cheap heat. Cheap heat.
Cheap heat. What a heel. What a heel. Meanwhile, with Daniel Bryan, he turned down a spot in whatever you like. I guess I don't know. Can you think of a good name for this group of people? Also,
Oh, the Starbucks Express.
Starbucks Express. That's all right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Matty says, Men of Honor. I'm still trying to look for some sort of artistic reference to call that group, because there's all that Sami Zayn bangs on about. Speaking of banging on about it, Sami Zayn asks Daniel Bryan to join them again, and he says no, because Sami heard the ting go quack 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 last week, and then that man was ducking.
Was Booker T there?
I'm so tired, everyone. Right. But then we get to the chat show, and Daniel Bryan still hates The Miz, which is lovely, to be honest.
A great little callback for the long-time viewers. It's just little bits like that. They don't take anything to put it in, but it just adds so much to it. Yes,
exactly. Attention to detail is it's everything while you're storytelling. And WWE, I'll say this once, and hopefully I won't have to repeat it again. This podcast. Good guys don't have to like other good guys. Bad guys don't have to like other bad guys. Done. Right. So Daniel Bryan says that he is mentally unstable and he is passionate. And actually making his mental instability text instead of subtext would have been a choice. Would have been a choice I wouldn't have felt necessarily great with, because I know that how WWE deal with sensitive issues like this, and that's with the subtlety of a sledgehammer. However, the rest of this segment was brilliant, wasn't it?
It kind of makes me think that maybe Bryan made the wrong choice by turning down the artists. With the Fiend after him, he could probably use some backup.
Yeah, probably. But, Daniel Bryan saying, I'm mentally unstable, the Fiend's mentally unstable. That's probably why he's come after me. And yeah, it's just beautiful. And the two of them, who knows if Bray Wyatt did that live from a beautifully decorated set to looks like something straight out of Bear from the Big Blue House, or if it was video. Yeah. But
so we've seen obviously the Fiend beat Rollins' thing is he's the best wrestler, he's the man. I know Becky Lynch is the man, but Seth is the number one guy.
Yeah.
And he wasn't good enough. So it's going to take something more to be the Fiend. And they say crazy beats strong every time.
Yeah. But
I think Bryan sort of playing up. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, but the Fiend is crazy and strong. Oh, it's gonna be. It's they had the crowd eating out their hands. It was what a segment. What a segment.
For sure.
Oh yeah. What are your hopes for this?
It'd be interesting to see the way they go with it. I'd love for Bryan to win the title and have another run as the champion. I think he was fantastic as the new Daniel Bryan. Seeing him as WWE champion again, obviously after his retirement, was something I didn't think I'd ever get to see again, and being able to see that I thought was brilliant.
Yeah.
But more realistically, I think the Fiend is likely to retain. I don't know whether I'd prefer the Fiend to just absolutely destroy Bryan, to make him look super. I don't know if you can make him look stronger than he already does, to be honest. I don't know if I'd rather go down that route, or whether Bryan is the Fiend's toughest challenge yet. It's got my attention for sure. I definitely can't wait to watch this match.
Yes, 100%. You know what my hope is for it? I hope that the Fiend beats Daniel Bryan so badly that he turns back towards Nakamura and Sami Zayn with his tail between his legs.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think though, like the promo Sammy cut on Bryan, I don't know, was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Where he pointed out the similarities between them.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, I know like one guy's supposed to be a heel and the other's a face, but these guys have so much in common. They should just be like best mates.
Yeah. With Cesaro as well. It's just like, yes. I want that stable. Give me the Indy 4 Horsemen. Oh, right. Let's move on to from the best thing about Raw to possibly the worst. This is titled "Look Where Were You? Look Where Were You When I Was Walking." Now I've got the game, got the whole world talking. King Corbin. It's just awful. He didn't just inherit a title when he won that crown. He also inherited the shite opening promo.
So before the King of the Ring tournament, I put out a tweet saying, my favourite thing of this tournament is when the winner wins it, gets too carried away with it, and just is a king for the next year.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's happened. Corbin has just taken the bull by the horns here, just really gone for it. Honestly, never realised how charismatic and how entertaining Corbin actually was until they gave him this persona, and I'm like, this guy's great.
Nah, I definitely got it. I definitely get Baron Corbin's thing. I really enjoy it. But my favorite iteration of Baron Corbin was when he was just fuck you, pay me. That part of his persona, that was my favorite Baron Corbin. And I honestly think that he's making this king thing work for him. But my God, give him better material.
It's such good shit, man. You just imagine like Vince and Gorilla during this segment, just like, this is the best shit I've ever come up with.
Meanwhile, the stuff that you signed off on by Kofi, this is barely passable.
This podcast, and indeed all TWM podcasts, are brought to you by SquaredCircleBox.com, the only place for your monthly wrestling box needs. With things from superstars from WWE, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, British Wrestling, Independent Wrestling, and loads more, it is the only place that matters if you want to get the best wrestling swag for a low, low price. That low, low price is just £25, people. What a bargain! And you can get snapbacks, t-shirts, magazines, DVDs, trinkets, whatchamacallit, doodads, you name it, they have it each and every month. And just because you listen to TWM, you sexy, sexy people, you get 10% off your first order. All you got to do is use the code TWM News in the checkout. Just use the code TWM News in the checkout for 10% off your first order at SquaredCircleBox.com.
Why not spread? I said, why not spread the gospel of the TWM squad with some of our lovely merch over at Teespring? We have t-shirts for all shapes and sizes, hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, stickers, and loads more. Also, just for listening to this podcast, you can get 10% off your order. I said using the code podcast. That's podcast. Once again, podcast in the checkout for 10% off at teespring.com/stores/TWM-wrestling-merch. That's right. Praise. Testify.
The heels of Futures Past suck up for a spot on Team SmackDown because Ziggler screeching "It should have been me" wasn't boring the third time he did it against Kofi Kingston.
Ziggler, I don't know. There were rumors of him leaving not too long ago, and then I think he re-signed, but he hasn't really done much of note ever since.
Yeah, there were rumors of him leaving, and then he re-signed and disappointed the world. There's not really much else to say about this, apart from the fact that the tag team that I call the Heels of Futures Past lost to Shorty G and Mustafa Ali for an opportunity to be on the Survivor Series team. They're not going to be on it.
But
pardon?
How? So Mustafa Ali has got got his name back.
Yes.
How is Shorty G still a thing?
Because it's such good shit.
His attire, he looks like John Cena Jr.
No, he doesn't. He looks like a Make-A-Wish kid who asked to meet Cassius Ohno. Also of note in this segment is that Roman Reigns got 2 separate entrances that absolute spotlight hog.
I thought I was seeing double. I saw 4 big dogs.
I know, right? But in all seriousness, who do you think was in that costume?
I had a couple ideas. I was kind of hoping it was CM Punk, which I know was, massively out there. That wasn't ever likely to be the case, but in my heart of hearts, I hoped that could have been. It was the comeback he deserved.
Oh, jeez. I don't know, man. I'm just thinking, who was backstage who would have that level of sense of humor? But to be honest, we all know probably one of the people that jobbed to the heavy machinery later, just double duty. We all know that's the truth. Anyway, let's getting ahead of ourselves.
Big fan, though, of Graves putting over the dog, sort of bigging up his intelligence and saying, yeah, he's great for protecting the house when you're not in.
Oh, jeez. I can't say what I want to say about the segment because it's in poor taste, especially considering who we're talking about. Anyway, let's move on. NXT are running this Fed shit. Right, let's talk through this on-running storyline because it was quite a large chunk of SmackDown and honestly still pretty damn hot. The New Day and Revival's rematch for the Tag Team Championships ends in a disqualification, and that is undisputed.
It was a really good match as well, and it really looked like Revival were about to win the titles as well.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, once Kofi broke that up, it was a little bit like, oh, this is going to be a DQ. But, yeah.
In hindsight, I don't know why I didn't see it coming, but...
Fair enough.
At the time, I was surprised when they turned up, and then thinking back, I'm like, oh yeah, of course they would have.
One thing I've always worried about, and this is before call-ups became a thing, because I think the call-up system might be there. There might be a rotation every now and then, a bit of a shake-up, but I think that rotations as such might be there. I'm always worried about how they make the Undisputed Era look on main roster, and they look like absolute monsters, and I really appreciate that.
I was thinking about this yesterday. People always bring up the people who were in NXT who have gone up to main roster and have kind of flopped. They haven't been as good on the main roster as they were in NXT. But I don't think enough people recognize the people who were just kind of meh in NXT and then going up to the main roster. They've become big stars. People like Elias. You could even put Corbin into that category. Alexa Bliss, Buddy Murphy. You could possibly Shorty G.
Nah, I wouldn't say Shorty G. Shorty G, American Alpha was my shit, man. I miss American Alpha so much. I was thinking about this the other day. I miss them so much. The two of them together were money, and they squandered that. Shayna and Team NXT tried the same thing that Undisputed Era did, but unfortunately they're not undisputed because Sasha and Team SmackDown were ready for them. Any thoughts?
They must have seen it happening earlier and then being fully prepared for it. You can't do the same thing twice. It's just not going to work. Exactly. Lightning doesn't strike twice.
Exactly. Fool me once, shame on you, and all that. After the break, it's an 8-woman tag match. Player. It's really, really great to see the most dominant women's roster interact with one of my girls. And when I say one of my girls, I mean how that other those other people that cover wrestling from the past, you might even say that they review it, have boys and they have their own boys stables.
Which one is your woman?
Big phrasing. I'm gonna. It's Dana Brooke. Do you want to know why?
Why is that?
I'm gonna send you a Facebook message.
What bar is Dana Brooke?
I'm gonna send you what bar Dana Brooke is.
That's what you said, right? Okay.
This is honestly one of my favorite tweets of all time. Don't read it out, just react to it live.
What?
Yes.
Fucking hell.
I know, right? It's
absolutely rough. Savage.
Rough. It's absolutely rough. But it happened and it's beautiful. Right.
How have I not seen that until just now?
I don't know, man. I don't know. For those who want to know, it will be attached to this podcast. Right. And just to add to the levels, here, the final result of the tag match is that Nikki Cross pinned Dakota Kai. Hold all of the L's, Matthew Ian Della.
I'm just still laughing at that. It was so unexpected.
And at the end of the match, of course, Team NXT try and get the shine back by rushing the winner of the match. But Team SmackDown chase off the Invaders while Snoop Dogg blares out the speakers. I did tell you that we were cripping out here, cuz we are cripping out here.
Yeah, Asha's hair is blue as well.
Yes, exactly. And of course her hair is blue. Her uncle's one of the biggest crips there ever was.
Only on the left side.
Yes, indeed. Right. In other news, we don't actually have that much because they intertwine stories rather beautifully in this episode. We had a heavy machinery squash. Rhys reaction.
I forgot it happened.
We have a Drew Gulak Braun Strowman running feud.
Yeah, for a guy that's supposedly quite smart, I don't know what he's thinking going after Strowman.
I think that's part of the joke. And speaking of Braun Strowman and Shinsuke Nakamura can't take their eyes off each other after Daniel Bryan hangs Sami Zayn out to dry. I really hope this doesn't awaken anything in them.
And I don't know if I've ever seen those two have a match, but I'm not really sure if it would work.
Yeah.
They're two completely different types of wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Shinsuke and Strowman.
Shinsuke Strowman. It's definitely something. Could lead to a... Have we seen Cesaro Strowman?
Not that I can recall.
Well, I think... Well, who knows? Who knows where they're going with that? Well, no, we know where they're going with it.
Maybe this time next month they'll be eyeing each other and there'll be some mistletoe hanging from the ceiling and they will have no choice but to...
Like I said, I hope this doesn't awaken anything in them. Rhys, you've not done one of these things with me before, so before we wrap up, do you have any other business?
A couple of months ago, if you'd have told me that Bray Wyatt would be Universal Champion and like the most over superstar in forever, I'd have told you were barking mad. Pardon that pun.
Big dog.
He's been around for years. If when he was in the original NXT run, Husky Harris, and you told me this guy will main event WrestleMania with the title, will go and win the title again and be massively over, I'd have told you that's just not going to happen. But this is the situation that we're in right now.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible. And yeah, it's not really much else to say. You hit the nail on the head. He's fought through gimmick change after gimmick change after gimmick change, and here we are. It's pretty damn incredible. I've got some other business. Do you mind, Rhys?
Go for it.
Yeah. All right. Angel Garza defeated Jack Gallagher. The Singh brothers beat Tim Ganj to retain the 24/7 championship, and the NXT Cruiserweight champion Leo Rush and Real Mendoza beat Tony Nese and Aria Daivari. That's 205 Live. Right. Now, Rhys, hit him with your favorite pose and or your social media.
I am posing right now, Blue Steel, in honor of a new Universal title.
Nice. Very nice. Social media?
So the Twitter's at Rhys Teddy.
Yes. The social media I'm going to give out today is at Dana Brooke WWE, because she is one of my goats. One of my goats. Everybody, this has been Smack Talk. You can follow us on at TWM Wrestle on all platforms: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We're there. We're ready. Come read some of our articles. We got articles as well. I feel like our Twitter game's pretty good. Come enjoy the timeline in general, guys. It's been a pleasure. See you next time on Smack Talk. Actually on Raw Talk, because I host that too. Bye.